9 people who were found frozen in time. Princess of Siberia. Russian archaeologists discovered something really intriguing in the year 1993 near the Russia-China border. They stumbled upon a giant block of ice, and after melting the block, they discovered the mummified body of a 25-year-old princess known as the Siberian Ice Maiden. They further discovered that the princess had tattoos. 2 men were also discovered next to her, and according to experts, these men were warriors. Even they had tattoos. Furthermore, the princess was fully clothed and was surrounded by riches. Dashidorzo Itigilov. The frozen Russian monk, Itigilov, in the year 1927, knew that his demise was near, and so he asked his fellow peers to start his meditation ceremony. As this ceremony is not usually performed when the person is still breathing, they did not want to do it. Nevertheless, he began to meditate in isolation, and after some time, even other monks joined him. Eventually, he took his last breath. He had requested to be put into the position you see him in now, and his request was granted. He was put into a wooden box and was exhumed in 1957 with an intact body. His clothes were changed, and he was reburied. He was again exhumed in 1973, and in 2002, it was decided that the monk would remain above the ground permanently. It is on display for monks to pray to, and many believe that he is still alive. The people of Pompeii. Until a lethal volcano erupted in 79 AD, Pompeii was a bustling city. That volcanic eruption wiped out the city and the people residing there. Now, the civilization along with the city is a place that is frozen in time. Even people here are frozen in time. Be ready to travel in time to a centuries-old city. The building structures are still there, statues are still standing high, and even the people who lived there are still present in casts of their once breathing bodies. They are still preserved because of the hot nature of the stone and the ash that comes from the magma clouds caused by the volcano. The Mountain Maiden. When an archaeologist discovers a body that is well preserved, it helps them to understand and find out what the time was like when that person was alive. The same was the case here. Archaeologists discovered a woman frozen in an Incan burial ground, and she was said to be 500 years old. She was discovered inside a non-active volcano, and when experts saw her, they were stunned. They were perplexed as to how she was so well preserved. She passed away in a curled-up position, and she stayed like that, frozen in time. From her clothes to her hair, everything was well preserved. John Torrington. A Royal Navy stoker, John Torrington was a part of the 1845 Franklin expedition. It was a failed expedition and he passed away on a beach in Canada, along with the other members of the expedition. They were found on the beach over a century after their passing and scientists were surprised to see their well-preserved bodies. The cold temperature of Canada is probably the reason behind their well-preserved bodies. After digging around 5 feet into the frozen ground, the experts were able to uncover John's coffin. Xin Shui. Xin Shui is claimed to be the best preserved mummy and is also considered a diva mummy. She passed away in 163 BCE and was discovered almost 2,000 years after her demise. It was a surprise that even after being buried for so long, her internal organs were very well preserved. The experts were able to perform a medical report on her, and they found the medical issues she was suffering from. The well-preserved body of Xin Shui gave experts a glimpse into her time. Eva Perón. The former First Lady of Argentina, Eva Perón, was an important person. In quite a few homes in Argentina, her picture is kept next to the pictures of Mary. She was so beloved that when she passed away, instead of burying her, they decided to preserve her body. An expert was assigned the task of preserving here, and he did a great job. The body was stored in a house in Italy. It was so well preserved that the caretaker fell in love with the body and ended up going insane over her. Sometime after this incident, her remains were returned to Argentina and to this day, she lies there, frozen in time. The Croatian Mystery. This Croatian woman was reported missing several years ago. 42 years after the missing report, she was discovered where she had passed away. She was relaxing in her chair in her apartment, and that is where she remained for so many years. It's surprising that the police or the investigators did not look into the apartment. She was finally found when the police broke in to find who owned the apartment. To their surprise, nothing from her apartment had been touched, not even her. It was like stepping back in time. The missing couple. A couple went missing in the 1950s. The man worked as a shoemaker, and the woman was a school teacher. One day, they mysteriously disappeared near the Appalachian Mountains and nobody knew what happened to them. After around 75 years, their bodies were found where a glacier once resided. Now, that glacier is home to a ski resort, and one of the owners of the resort said that the bodies appeared to be rocks, until one day, someone went close to them. They probably fell into a crevice of a glacier.